Okay, we are moving into section 3.5, and just like with equations, Mr. Short will pass back your quizzes. They've been in the grade book, but you can keep these to kind of look over for the test. Speaking of the test, looks like it will be next Thursday. I believe that is the 8th. Okay, so that will be, and believe it or not, before you know it, the end of the 9 weeks will be here. The end of the 9 weeks is the 23rd. So I can't remember if we have another test before the end of the 9 weeks, so this will be an important one. Okay, I think it's 80 points, so it'll help your grade if you do well, and if you don't do well, it could hurt it, obviously. All right, is this the first one on your page?
No.
Okay. All right, so just pay attention to this. Just pay attention to this one. This still can be an issue. We have variable on both sides. We have to get all the x's on one side, everything else on the other. But there's a rule that you kind of have to follow. You never clear out a side. We talked about two rules. Never clear out a side and move the little guy. Well, the little guy in this case is 4x, but we don't ever want to make this empty. So I don't do that. I then move the 7, okay? Don't clear out a side. Get all your x's together first. Don't worry about the constants. And now when we do that, this is negative 3x is greater than or equal to 6. The old rules apply. If I divide by a negative, what must I do to the inequality sign? I must flip it. So this one gets flipped from greater than or equal to the less than or equal to. I get x is less than or equal to negative 2. Don't clear out a side. So you wouldn't want to move that 4x because I guarantee you'll end up making a mistake. If you got this isn't on your paper either, just pay attention. If you got a 4m minus 3 and a 2m plus 6, move the variables first. Here I would move the little guy. And then you move the constant last. And the very last thing you should do is divide. Okay? So you want to add or subtract first, multiply or divide last. All right, I think this is the one on your paper, right? Don't clear out a side. I have a y on the left, I have a y on the right. Allie Templeton, what do you think I should do?
Subtract 18.
Okay, now the 18 is a constant. Do you have a constant over there? So we don't need to move the constant. So we got a y and a y. We always want to look at the variables first. So I want to get anything with a y on the same side. Don't clear out this side, so I need to move the 4y. How would I move that?
Subtract it.
Yes, subtract the 4y. And that's really your only option for this one because the other side doesn't have a constant. We can't move the 18 anywhere at this point. So you want to keep it over there. Y minus 4y, that's a 1 minus a 4, that's a negative 3y. Less than or equal to 18. Divide by negative 3. That's going to flip my sign. Y is greater than or equal to negative 6. Okay, y is greater than or equal to negative 6. Now, to graph that, okay, I got negative 6, and then if I go up, it's negative 5, negative 4. Solid circle at negative 6. Shade to the right. Okay, solid circle at negative 6, shade to the right.
Some people are still having trouble graphing.
From the quizzes, hopefully. I was wanting to look at the homework and look at it better. But just every now and then.
What about just the direction or the circle?
Well, the big thing is if the y's over here.
Yeah. So they flip it.
Then they don't flip it and they just do it the wrong way. That would
Yeah.
probably be the main one for that. All right, number 2 here. 5t plus 1 is less than negative 2t minus 6. All right, take a look before you do your first step. Think through it first. Don't just automatically do something. All right, Evan, as you look at that, what do you think?
Plus 2 would be.
Good. You want a plus 2t on both sides. 5t plus 2t is 7t plus 1 is less than negative 6. Definitely move that t first. All right, now Rachel, look at that. You know what to do next. What do we do then?
Subtract 1 from both sides.
Good. She says subtract 1 from both sides. Subtract 1. I get 7t is less than negative 7. All right, now Zane, what do I do from here?
Divide by 7.
Good. Divide by 7. Okay, now I don't want to assume and write this down because sometimes you'll look at that and maybe do something incorrect. All right, looking at that, Caitlin, what should my final answer be?
X is greater than -1.
All right, why did you say greater than?
Because I flipped the sign.
Why did you flip the sign? This is why I want to see. What number did we divide by?
7?
Is that a negative number?
No.
So you don't flip the sign. You only flip the sign. You do not worry about this negative 7 over here. We only divided by 7, so it's got to say left sign. Okay? Guys, and that's where we're getting at a little bit too. When we see a negative, we'll flip the sign for that one. All right, so t is less than -1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put -1 in the middle. A hollow dot, shade to the left. Hollow dot, shade to the left. All right, third one. This is where you got to be able to write the answer in a sentence, and this tends to be the hardest part. All right, see if you can come up with an equation or an inequality, and then just wait. Don't go any further. I want to see if you can at least develop yours yourself. All right, move it ahead. Jeez. A Plus Advertising charges a fee of $24 plus 10 cents per flyer to print and deliver flyers. Printing more charges 25 cents per flyer. For how many flyers does it cost at A Plus less than print and more? Okay, for how many flyers does it cost at A Plus less than the cost of print and more? All right, Jay Lee, you think you got anything set up? No? I know you want to try, so I'll let you keep going here. Okay, I don't think you'd give up that easy. So let's take a look at A Plus. It says a fee of $24 plus 10 cents per flyer, right? How can I set that up?
We can do 24 plus 0.10x.
24 plus 0.10x. That is exactly right, because per flyer means I got to multiply 10 cents by the number of flyers. So x would equal the number of flyers. All right. I want to know when that is less than the cost at print and more. Well, what would be the cost at print and more, Zachary?
0.25x.
0.25x. Okay, good. There's no charge, there's no fee, so there's no constant. All right, now we got that. Now that's the first key step. Second key step is solving it. So what would I do to solve that? Okay, Christian?
Minus 0.10x on each side.
Good. This is really your only step that you want to do. Subtract 0.10x. Subtract 0.10x. All right, tell me, Preston, tell me what to write from left to right.
And 24 is less than 0.05x.
0.05?
0.15.
0.15x. All right, so 24 is less than 0.15x. What do I want to do from here? Grant. Oh, hold on, sorry.
Divide 9 by 0.15.
All right, Joe, let me know what you get when you divide by 0.15. 240? No? Yes? Grant?
I got 160.
That's yeah.
Do it again. Try it again. What do you get? 160.
240.
Mr. Sawyer, see what he's hitting there.
You're doing 1.5?
Or point, did he do .05?
415. Like you have written down on your paper.
All right, now, how do I rewrite that with the X first, Christian?
X is greater than 160.
Okay, so we're about 3/4 of the way there. You still have to state the answers. I cannot tell you how many people still kind of misrepresent what that means. So for how many flyers is it gonna be less than A plus? So the cost, for A plus will be less for, and then finish that statement, for what? How would you state that? Okay, Connor?
The cost for A plus will be less for 160, for no more than 160 flyers.
That's actually incorrect. So for no more would be for 160 or less. Okay, so you wouldn't want to say for no more than, because we actually want it to be what?
Less than 160 flyers.
What is that symbol?
Oh, greater than.
Greater than. This is why I gotta make you write it out. So it will be less for, London, how can I word it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Josh? Are you guys just not thinking, or is this isn't too hard? Look, stop and give me your attention. We're not gonna, you can't just say no. For how many flyers, okay, you have got to give me a number. You've got to give me a statement. For how many flyers is the cost at A plus less than the cost of printing more? So we set this up. A plus is on the left, and when we got done, what does that say? That says X is what? That's not less than.
Why do I keep thinking like 160 like less than?
Because we flipped it around.
Yeah.
This is how you got the answer originally. And if you say it's less than 160 flyers, you're wrong, because you have to flip it to this. X is greater than 160. Now, how do I word that? Okay, so how do I state that, Zachary?
Cost for A plus will be less for greater than 160
For greater than 160 what?
flyers.
Flyers. For, now, there might be a little bit better word than greater than.
More than.
For more than. So for more than, and I would understand the idea, but we have to be able to at least state this. Okay? So at some point, you're gonna be given a situation and your boss is gonna say, hey, should we go get concrete from this company or this company? You gotta say, hey, it's gonna be less if we get 120 cubic yards from company A versus company B. You can't just sit there and say, I don't know. Okay? This is something you need to be able to verbalize and be able to let them know what's going on. So, hey, for more than 160 flyers, we want to go with A plus. If it's going to be less than 160 flyers, then we want to go with the other company, print more. Okay? For that one. So you got to be able to say that. All right, now this again, just pay attention to simplify here. This one isn't on here. You've got to get rid of parentheses, combine like terms. So 6 minus 3 is 3. Do that first before you move anything. Distribute the 2 for that, and then you move the variable first. Okay, now once we get to there, we're usually fine. This is where I see mistakes in between here
No.
and that last step. So this is the problem on your paper, right?
Yes.
All right.
Is it in his room?
Get rid of parentheses first. So both sides have parentheses. This 2R is not affected. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times negative R is minus 5R. greater than or equal to 3R. 3 times negative 2 is minus 6 plus 4. All right, Sam, you good right there? Okay, now combine like terms for me, Sam.
Okay, so, I got 2R plus 10 is, or no, not 2R plus 10. 2R minus 5. I got negative 3R.
Okay, you take 2R minus 5R, which is negative 3R, plus 10, good, is greater than or equal to,
Negative 6 plus 4.
and negative 6 plus 4, so what do I write on the right-hand side?
3R minus 2.
Good. All right, make sure you got that. Make sure, distribute, get rid of parentheses, combine like terms. Brett, all right, you good right here, Brett?
Yeah.
What'd you do from here?
I added 3R on both sides.
All right, good, so you took this, say it again?
Before that, I did plus 2.
Yeah, you wanna do that last. I'm telling you, do that last, move the variables first, just from experience, that leads to fewer mistakes. You can get the correct answer, but like I said, it leads to fewer mistakes. So you add 3R, and that gives me 10 is greater than or equal to 6R minus 2. Now add 2. 12 is greater than or equal to 6R. All right, Connor, I'm coming back to you.
Okay, so now you're going to divide both sides by 6,
Okay?
and that's going to give you 2R is greater than or less than 2 is greater than or less than R, which you're going to flip it to.
Wait, greater than or less than? Can we be greater than or less than?
Greater than or equal to 2, or R. I'm dumb.
Like that?
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted me to write?
Yes.
All right, okay.
And then R, you're going to flip it to R is less than or equal to 2. That was way too difficult for me to say.
Shoo. All right, we got it.
That was a whirlwind.
R is less than or equal to 2.
Greater than or less
That was
than.
an adventure. We're all,
That was a whirlwind.
we're all different people now.
Now I'm gonna graph you.
All right, R is less than or equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be 1, 0, negative 1. And so R is less than or equal to 2 would be all these numbers here would work. Preston, you agree? All right. A lot going on there. Okay, I really can't give you much harder than that. But the thing is, and even Connor showed us a little bit, this is where we see some mistakes from going from that little last step. We want to make them now and not later. All right, I think we're on the back, right?
If you thought what Connor just gave us was a whirlwind, buckle up.
All right, you have something above here. It says identities and contradictions. We've talked about these before. Now, what does it say, Preston? What's it say in that top box, that inequality there?
1 plus x is less than 7 plus x.
Okay, just take a look at this. I would subtract x, but x minus x is what?
0.
0. So this just leaves me 1 is less than 7. You got no x's. This is a special case. Is 1 less than 7? Yeah. So what do they say in the box there? What do they tell you about the answer? Zach? It's an identity, but what does that tell me about the answer? You're right, it is an identity, huh? It is right, but we still got to take it one step further. It says it in that last sentence in that box. Rachel?
Is it all real numbers or solutions?
All real numbers are solutions, so you can write the answer like that. When is it a contradiction, which means there's no solution? What happens there? If you take a look at the bottom box, it says x plus 7 is what? Is it less than x? Or yes, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I subtract x, I end up with 7 is less than 0. Is 7 less than 0? No. So that's no solution. Okay, so we get some special cases. Alright, 2x minus 7 is less than or equal to 5 plus 2x. Subtract 2x. Subtract 2x. And those two x's go away, both sides. Okay, we don't usually like that, but sometimes it happens. So if you got that, is negative 7 less than or equal to 5? It can't be both. It's either less than or it is equal to. It only has to be one of them. It is less than, right? So does that tell me about the answer? That's true. So that means that x could actually be any number, and it would work.
And I think I told you this before on when we were solving equations. We don't show you these just like for our help, just because we love it so much, which we do. Alright? It will be on the test. There will be at least one of these, at least one, that's either all real numbers or no solution. There might be one of each. Okay? So remember, don't get freaked out when you lose your variable. When all of a sudden you're looking at your paper and there's no variable left. Okay? That can happen.
Okay, now this first one was one step and then things kind of dissolved into no variable. More than likely, you'll see something that takes a couple steps because that leads to more mistakes. We want to make sure we don't make those mistakes. Distribute the 2. And I get 6y minus 4. Don't forget you got this minus 4 here. Greater than or equal to 6y plus 21. All right, combine those like terms on that left-hand side. Okay, I'm going to keep stressing that. I think it's much, much, much better to do that before you move anything. Colin.
6y minus 8.
Okay, 6y minus 8 is now greater than or equal to 6y plus 21. So I agree with that. Now, some of you might notice, hey, something looks fishy here. Or some of you are just in solve mode where you just keep going and you don't even think. It doesn't matter. I got to get those 6y's, move one of them. So I subtract 6y. All right, what does that leave me when I do that? Okay, Christian?
Negative 8 is greater than or equal to 4.
Good. Now, is negative 8 bigger than 21? Is it equal to 21? No, even I know that. No solution. No solution. Okay, no solution. So then we're good. We're good. Yeah.
Can we write like the x equals like the 0 to cross through it? Cross like slash.
Yep, that's empty set. Yep, that would be equivalent. That would be close. All right, now here's the deal. You got 3 problems. Well, actually, this went a little bit longer than I wanted it to. Let's go ahead and maybe you can get a few of these done here before we leave. Just jump to here, page 197. This homework.
Yeah.
No.
These are
I'm so into it. Not very good at usually, but
Yeah, this is your homework. Hey, make sure you put your name on your homework at the top. I need to make sure I delivered about that.
Any other
It's actually so bad.
What is happening? So every single little folder notebook has a little light bead in it.
Dude, I hate those things.
What is this?
Did you
I
give me?
got those last year and they were like all in my homework.
Oh, okay, what is it then?
Let me see it. Let me see it. It's things.
Mr. Zila. Is that homework? Yes, sir.
Silicone break these in here. They go, they turn them into yours, and then they break and they go over here.
Oh, that's stupid.
And now it's I like to.